Hi, Roy here, going to do a short read aloud section in order to tell you about a humorous writer from the 1950s. He's active through the 50s into the 70s, maybe even into the 80s. Paul Jennings, and as a younger writer, he was writing columns for a British national newspaper, The Observer, that were collected into these little books, the Oddly series, which are nice things if you find them round and about, illustrated by Harrow Hodgson, cartoonist. And I love him. He's got a sense of whimsy, just a way of looking at ordinary life from a slightly sort of sideways angle, I suppose, and bringing out not just humour, but also absurdity and beauty, and a real facility with language. So, as a way of reviewing the book, I'm going to read a short section. So this is one of those old columns. This one's called Miss. Might resonate with anyone who's tried to get served in a bar, and anyone who's experienced the occasional weirdness of getting slightly lost in a big venue. Okay, so Miss by Paul Jennings. One of the best examples of man's tendency to hold on to an ideal long after experience has rudely shattered it may be seen in our attitude to the theatre bar at the interval. When we are working in the practical daytime and the anticipation of a night at the theatre flits into our minds, we see ourselves like people in an advertisement, in some elegant foyer with palms and flowers and flunkies. Men are clean cut in elegant clothes, with that standard young lieutenant colonel kind of face, one hand in trousers pocket, the other holding a cigarette. Girls are in ballet-length dresses, smiling up at escorts. In some way, we too are actors, living in a world rather brighter and larger than our own. If we are among those who have refreshment in the interval, this is a much more formal, crisp and studied act than having it anywhere else. In this mental picture we have, there seem to be about 25 minutes for relaxed, elegant talk about the play. No rude bells sound in this dream. No one ever has just beer or coffee. And most of all, there is no hint of the sordid struggle by which drinks are actually obtained in real life. The mind closes over this aspect of it like a self-sealing petrol tank. Now I come to think of it though, nobody else does seem to have this struggle except me, because all the other people in the bar are terrific personalities. It is only I who seem to be a normal humdrum man, unable to attract the servers. Every time I try to get a drink in a theatre bar, I make a resolution to come next time on stilts, making myself 9 feet high, to wear a red beard, and to demand drink with Latvian oaths. I stand sideways onto the bar, gradually work forward until I have one elbow on it, and finally 2. But before I can do this, the man in front, holding 2 glasses, steps back from the counter. I politely make way for him, and somebody on the other side of him immediately steps into his place. I adopt a kind of twin personality, turning round with a gay smile to the girl who is waiting for me, just to show her I'm not having a round with some boon companion I've discovered in the press, and then return very unsmilingly indeed to the struggle. When I do get to the front, I'm always faced by a large bowl of flowers, or I'm at the bend in the bar, or in a kind of no man's land between 2 servers, who, if they ever hear the first 2 syllables of my despairing cry, "Too light," hiss, "Just a minute," crossly at me through teeth which are holding a £1 note. Normally they don't say anything at all, They're too busy flying up and down, whisking bottles open for people who seem to be ordering enough refreshment for a Watteau country picnic. Yet the other people have such personality that they can get served simply by speaking in cool, authoritative tones from wherever they happen to be. 6 champagnes, please, says a plummy-voiced, well-bathed man in a bird's-eye suit who is standing behind me. I have a strange feeling that I'm getting smaller and smaller. Sometimes, when I get a seat at the end of a row, the moment the curtain has come down on the first act, I rush to what is often called the saloon. This is one of those words which are often printed but never spoken, like passengers alighting and aerated table waters and luncheon. Often it is on the other side of the theatre, so that after I've run up and down stone steps so long and untheatrical that I'm surprised not to find myself coming out under Blackfriars Bridge, the place is full when I get there. But if it's on my side, there often happens something very eerie indeed. Nobody else comes. There is the bar all right, with brown linoleum, and a little geyser affair with low blue flames making burnt-smelling coffee. There is a shelf with 3 or 4 bottles on it, and there is a woman in black like a concierge. But, as I say, nobody comes. I have an urge to shout or sing, for I have a lurking fear that my reflection will walk out of the glass at me, or that an 18th century flower seller will come in, or that the woman in black will suddenly point at me with a horrible wheezing laugh. I drink my beer, wish I'd waited in a queue for it. Even if the queue is full of pushers, at least they are human beings. Back soon with something else.